Welcome to Nothing But Dicta, the podcast where everyone has an opinion and you get to hear it. I'm Sahara Tassi. Today we're talking to Maxie Lawton, an inspiring 1L and the winner of Professor Kettler's Student Video Bio Competition.
In your video, you prompt your viewers that you had to learn how to read and write and talk again at the age of 20. So you prompt your viewers, ask you why. And of course, now I want to know why as well.
The reason why I had to relearn how to read, write, and talk again was back in 2010, I was an Army Ranger and I was downrange in Afghanistan and I got blown up. I got hit with an IED. It cut the Humvee in half, and from there I was in a coma for 2 days. Later on, I found out that when I was brought back to the States that I had TBI, which is traumatic brain injury. From there, I went into rehab and to learning how to use my motor skills again with talking and learning how to write again, which I started off being left-handed my whole life, and I had to learn how to write with my right hand, which was a task for me. Honestly, it was really difficult because thinking the doctor was telling me when you're left-handed, you think on the opposite side of the brain. Now with me learning how to write my right hand, I had to think on the opposite side. So a lot of comprehending was going to be different, the doctor said, and it was a task that I was up for.
So how long did that process take, learning those skills that we think are so, every day definitely for law school, but also every day just for life? So
I'll be honest, I rushed so much because I wanted to get back to being my normal self, but it's a process that's still ongoing. I still go to my speech pathologist. I struggle with vocabulary. That's one of my biggest issues that I have to practice on a daily basis. But during that process, with getting me up to getting to college, it took 1.5 years.
Wow. So you did that and then you started college. And I know you have a master's as well. So you clearly did a great job in that 1.5 years. That's pretty amazing.
So my speech pathologist, she was telling everybody she was not ready for me to go to college, but I was eager to go because on my second contract, I knew I couldn't go back downrange. So they basically told me, hey, you can go to school, man, do something. I never lost my skills with numbers. That was kind of weird. I never lost my skills with numbers. So I was I'll just go focus on math in college. Not knowing nothing about college, so not knowing that I had to take general ed classes. So that was a struggle, but I also had great tutors and just a lot of people in my corner to help me out, basically.
What's the jump then from math to law school? Why? How did you decide that law is for you?
After medically retiring out of the Army, I was talking to my Pueblo, she's a lady who guides me through each step of the way with medically retiring out. And she, was asking me hey, what do you want to do next? And I'm I don't know, because I'm 26 years old and I have no idea yet. What do I want to do? Because all I ever knew was my job in the Army was an Army Ranger of Special Forces. I ended up talking to my mentor and he's hey, you always want to advocate about veterans. Law school can be a great place for you to go and learn about the law and help out your fellow veterans. It's that is true. So I was I said, I'll give my shot to it and go and see what law school brings me.
So now you're here.
Yeah.
How do you feel so far? You're about 4 weeks in.
I feel great, even though GW is very rigorous. But one thing I can say about each one of my professors there, they are here to help. Even when it comes to outside of office hours, answering emails or getting on a Zoom call, they're here to help us. I honestly can't say anything bad about this experience at all. It's a blessing, honestly. I also got to give a special shout out to Brianna and Bria because they're in my study group and they also just giving me so much excitement because we all study together all the time and it's okay.
Well, shout out their full names then so everyone can know who they are.
Brianna Whitmore and Bria Manlove. Kudos to y'all. Thank you.
Law school friends are really, I could not have done my 1L year without them.
Just want to thank my Dean Fellow, Shane Roberts, for definitely always being on the phone with me talking. Just thankful to, be here. Like I said, I'm grateful to be in law school.
Do you have words of wisdom?
My mother, she's, she always been saying to me since I was a little kid, how bad do you want it? And that goes with anything in life. How bad do you want to get to this place that you want to get? Who's stopping you? And nobody can stop you for real. So I say this to everybody, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to get to law school? And how bad do you want to graduate from law school? And then how bad do you want to pass the bar? So it's all up onto you.
Do you know what your next is?
I would love to get into health law and definitely do a lot of work with the veterans. Honestly, just advocating for veterans and seeing where that goes.
That's great. So more of a fun question. What would you like to share with our listeners? What are you reading? What are you listening to? A recipe you like? Do you have anything that you're particularly into right now?
Of course, I'm into sport. I say this, I know a lot of listeners, they probably won't agree with me, but the Lakers going to win it all. The Lakers win it all this year. LeBron James, he's going to win it all and get his fourth ring, hopefully, prayerfully.
I'm from Cleveland, so LeBron has a very special place in my heart, definitely.
Watching football as well. My team is the Eagles, and we just lost this past weekend.
Oh, that's rough. Yeah.
So.
Not an Eagles fan. Books, recipes, music, shows.
Right now, books, I am reading The Wait. That's by Pastor Devon Franklin and Megan Good. I haven't finished it yet, but it's a great book.
Reading for fun in law school is a hard thing to keep up.
It is.
I don't do it. So good for you for trying at least. Well, thank you so much. This has been inspiring, and I'm very excited to see where your path leads, because I'm sure someone who's worked so hard and overcome so much, if everything else is easy, I would imagine.
Thank you.
We hope you'll join us again next time for another episode of Nothing But Dicta.